again, shout out to Ashley O'Neal. Shout out to her husband. Shout out her friend Anna.
Hey, Anna.
Yeah, hey Anna. We said we are gonna shout both y'all out before we started, so there you go.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here? She bounce it like 6'4", no Nintendo. Ay. I just spent 2 beans on a benzo. Ay. Rockin' on Mozilla, this not Kenzo. Ay. Had to stretch my money like a limo. Yeah.
Professional.
Yeah.
When I'm on here.
Nah, look. I had to make this prompt, and I did do some research, like a little bit. I didn't want to do too much because I guess I kind of want to learn something as well. Because whoever's watching this, you will learn something from this. And like I said, we don't do intros. We just get right into it. But I'm about to do an intro right now. Look, I've known Ashley for 15 years.
Almost 15
About 15,
years.
16 years. She is a trauma therapist with a specialty in EMDR. Ashley, if you could you explain exactly what a trauma therapist is in the simplest terms, and then touch on what EMDR stands for?
So I guess to put it in like a nutshell, a trauma therapist is somebody that would work with people that have severe anxiety, PTSD, from all kinds of events. I'm pretty sure all of us can say that we've had at least one traumatic event in our life.
At least one.
At least one.
Yeah.
And trauma is, people think it has to be super, super severe, and that is the case for some people, but it's anything that disrupts our like normal way of behaving or thinking. So everybody has pretty much had some kind of trauma. But the EMDR part of it is my favorite modality to use for trauma because it works with the way that our brain works naturally.
Yeah.
So it was started back in the 90s, and it was started with like veterans who had severe PTSD. And it's really cool. So for example, do you know how like when we're talking with people and you're like on the phone, like people are walking around and that's like bilateral movement?
Yeah, like
So
pacing while
pacing,
talking.
that's your brain's way of like processing
That's what I
the
do.
information. Yeah, we almost all of
Yeah,
us do it.
I'll walk all around this apartment while I talk on the phone.
So the way EMDR works is you naturally tap into that bilateral stimulation. So that could be like the therapist would be moving their hand back and forth, and you'd be following with your eyes. It could be taps on the knees. I like to use tappers that buzz back and forth, but it's kind of like windshield wiping your prefrontal cortex. Because when we go through something that's traumatic, we don't process it in the moment. Your brain only knows survive, so you go into that fight or flight.
Okay.
So if you think your brain like a storage unit, it just gets fuller and fuller and fuller, but EMDR is like going in there and we're clearing out the junk. So it's just a really good modality to use for things that just get like negatively stored.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does for sure. What is EMDR? What is that?
Stand for?
Yeah, what's the acronym for that?
Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So basically you're going in there and you're processing old memories, and then we're kind of installing what we want to believe. So for example, if somebody had something traumatic where maybe they were neglected and they felt really unimportant or unloved, we would go process that, and we would install the belief of I am important regardless of what happened to me.
For sure.
So you're taking away the bad, but we're also putting in a positive cognition too.
Okay. See, I feel like people, they hold on to stuff like, well, they don't want to, I don't want to say they hold on to it too long, but like you said, like in the moment, there's so much going on. You can't properly process exactly what happened like in that moment, and then you kind of hold on to it.
Yeah, because it's our primal instinct to survive. Like we're not trying to process how do we feel about this threat.
In the moment, it's just survive. Yeah, you don't have time to
all that
actually handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you one question right here.
Mm-hmm.
What is a normal behavior that you see and you immediately think like, yeah, that's unhealed trauma that has not been dealt with?
That's a really good question.
And if I can reread it if you need me to. What is a normal behavior that you see and immediately think, yeah, that's probably unhealed trauma?
That's such a good question. Probably when people have like really morbid senses of humor.
Okay.
Like for example, if somebody's talking about
dang,
parents,
that's what I got, a bad sense of humor. Golly.
Are you
that's
morbid?
a red flag. Yeah, that's a red flag.
Like you always know when somebody has a dead parent because they're gonna let you know. Like if parents get brought up, or my parents are dead,
for sure,
or my dad's dead, or my mom, like they're gonna let you know.
For sure, immediately.
Like, oh.
So that's definitely a first one. For sure. It is crazy though, because like I'm sure a lot of the people, and like I said, anything we get into that you're like, we probably don't need to like continue talking about this. I'm sure a lot of the people that you see like on the daily, a lot of it's like repetitive actions that you see in certain people.
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure. Especially people that have anxiety. Because, I mean, that's typically,
yeah.
I mean, people have less or more severe, but the behaviors are still relatively the same.
Because you've been in this line of work for how long, did you say?
I've been in social work since 2019 when I graduated, and I've been in private practice for almost 3 years now.
Okay, so you would say like as the years go by, like you're basically, when you go to work, not only are you helping these people out about like they can learn about themselves, you're also learning about yourself, and also you probably learn a lot from these people.
Oh, for
as
sure.
well.
Oh yeah, they teach me more than anything. Especially my last job, I worked with substance use population, so that was a lot of people that were unhoused and just had a lot of trauma and a lot of issues. But I think that's a population that gets overlooked a lot of times because people think that they just bring it on themselves, like they chose to do drugs or they chose to drink. But all of those people have some kind of trauma that made them turn to that.
For sure.
And that's what I want to focus on. I don't want to be like, oh, you're a bad person because you do this. Like, you did that because you felt like you had no other option.
For sure. No, 100%. Because a lot of the times, like, due to the circumstances of, like, somebody's life, they're really not dealt that good of a hand. No. They're already behind the 8 ball before they even start. And that's not 100%. Their fault because they didn't ask for it.
No, like, I mean, I've heard and seen the most horrific childhood abuse and neglect stories. And it's like, of course, they ended up the way that they did. They had nobody to help them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really feel for people like that.
For sure. And before we go any further, I do want to say this, too, because I told myself I was going to say this on the podcast. Look, like, a lot of people, they have good friends that can help them through, like, hard times in their life. But, like, some people, they don't have these people to lean on. And I would advise people to actually go to therapy because it's not going to be a bad thing. Like, would you, at one point, I would say, like, I think everybody should go to therapy.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you know, I mean, you're just talking to somebody about your problems that you might not be able to bring up to everybody else. You know what I mean?
For sure. Because we don't want to put everything on our partner or our friends or our family.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we need to be able to confide in them, but they're not your therapist. Like, if you need to go.
Yeah, that becomes exhausting if you got to continuously, like, even if it's like your wife or your husband, like, it's. That could get like overwhelming if you continuously have to. At that point, you got to get help.
Yeah, and it's not fair to put that on your partner.
It's not. It's really not. I'm about to ask you a couple more questions. It's kind of a little game segment. Okay. And this is like, and by the way, she has not heard these questions. This is we're just hitting the road running with this. Look, we're gonna play a quick little game.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw out random habits or personality traits. And you tell me what might be going on underneath their brain, like psychologically. So
I'm a diagnosis.
Something like that, or like what they might be dealing with in their everyday life. Okay, let's say, and we'll this question will be for the females. Okay, look, say you have a female. Let's say she's 25 years old, and she keeps overthinking every text message that she sends or receives.
Well, it could be a couple things. Whether it's definitely anxiety, could also be OCD if she's like obsessively doing this.
Okay.
What might be going on? Probably boy troubles if I had
to. No, it had to. Of course, it has to be. It has to be. Do you, like, when you were younger, did you ever? I know I did personally. Like, I would send a text message. And it might be like not even that important, especially in the time it wasn't. Well, in the time it was to me, but looking back on it, like who cares? But
oh my gosh,
I send the text message. I throw my phone to the side, like
You did that too?
Yeah.
Like you had to give it a second before you would read it.
Oh, or if it was like a Snapchat and she would respond, I would not immediately read it.
No.
I gotta let it sit because I'd be scared to read it. But because I have anxiety pretty bad.
No, I totally do.
No depression, but anxiety through the roof. I'm working on it though. I'm working on it. Oh yeah, we're gonna get it. We got it handled. But okay. So you would say boy trouble and just a little bit of
maybe some anxiety.
Anxiety.
Maybe OCD. It just depends on how severe it is.
It's so in your line of work, like trauma. Say it again. EMDR. Okay, look. is insecurity a word that y'all like ever throw around, or is that more so like, like you can't just sit here and tell one of your patients like, let's say for instance her name's Sally. Like, oh Sally, you might be being a little bit insecure. Like
I would say.
Okay, so you actually do. So you keep it as real as possible with these
people. Oh, for sure,
people.
because it's important to be able to identify exactly what we're feeling. Because if you don't know how to name it or what it is, then we're not able to like figure out what to do for it.
For sure.
So if I'm thinking, okay, this sounds like insecurity, for sure, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. Okay. So you keep it as real as possible with these people. I gotta respect that, for sure. All right, I'm gonna go to the second one. I'm gonna throw out another one. Let's say somebody is needing. Okay, this one's for the men out here. Because a lot of men, they do have this problem. They won't admit to it, but they do have this problem. Let's say there's a guy out here and he is needing constant reassurance from not just from like his partner, but from everybody. Like they need that satisfaction of I'm good enough. What would you say is going on in their brain psychologically?
I know I'm saying anxiety a lot, but anxiety is typically
that's the root cause of a lot.
It's the root of a lot of things, but I actually see this a lot in men. And in my experience, it's coming from a place of them just not feeling good enough. Especially, I always look at their dad relationship because I feel like sometimes dads, even though I know that they mean well, really push their sons to like go and excel. And
for sure,
always, which is good. Like, don't get me wrong. That's not a bad parenting thing, but I don't think they're giving them enough praise when they do well.
Yeah, it's more of like an expectation.
Yeah, and then they start to associate worth with achievement. And so then I think when we get older, it's like they really need that reassurance.
That's so true.
Yeah, because when you move
that
out of
is
your
crazy.
Parents and you're not getting that from your parents, and that turns into like your coworkers or your supervisor or your boss, or if you're in college, your professor, like, and then it's your partner. Like you're always getting reassurance from something else.
But the root cause had to start somewhere, like you said.
Yeah, like trying to get love through achievement, which
for
I'm
sure
the dads still love the kid regardless, but like that's what kids think.
For sure, and that's just how the father probably like is like, I guess like that's his way of loving his son. He just wants him to do good, but like you said, it becomes an expectation. Like after a certain amount of time, you could do everything he's asking of you, but you're not getting that. You're not getting that reassurance, like, hey, good job, bro. Like it's more so, oh, you could have did this, this, and this, which that is good sometimes, for sure.
Criticism is important.
Always.
But I think it's really, really important, especially with boys. Like you have to build them up too.
Okay. I will say my pops. Shout out pops, by the way. He did a pretty good job. Like, he was kind of rougher. Kind of like how you were saying, like, hey, I need you to do this, this, and this, but I need, but once you do it, every now and then, he's going to say, hey, bro, like, I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job. Which that's about all I get out of him. But that's fine. That's just all I needed personally. All right, let's get on to the next one.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and say this one will have some anxiety tied to it as well, because just me reading this question, that's the first thing that would pop into my head. Because I do this from time to time. All right, let's say this could be for the men and women out here, whoever. Let's say you keep pushing people away when it gets too good. It's like you get to the point to where you're like, you've already been through this once. Do I really want to handle this again? You're like, it's getting too good.
I think that comes from it's a self-preservation technique of not wanting to be hurt again. So I would imagine that this person has been let down.
What'd you say? Say it again.
Self-preservation.
Could you explain that just a little bit more?
Yeah. So self-preservation. If you're like, okay, this is getting really good, so I want to push it away. It's like I'm gonna take control and push this good opportunity away because I'm so afraid that it's going to be taken from me without my control. Like it's like if it's a relationship, I'm going to break up with them before they can break up with me.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like that's a valid.
I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me.
Yeah, because you're trying to avoid that.
You're just that feeling. That hurt altogether.
Yeah, because if you do end it before they do, like you do walk away from it with a whole different like mindset. I would say, because I've been on both sides of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have too.
Oh, for sure.
Like. And it's definitely, if you end it, you're walking away. You took a lot. It was a whole lot different things going through your head compared to if they left you.
Yeah, I think
it's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
you need that control. That was a great answer, by the way. I like that answer a lot. Lighten the mood, I guess you could say. What is, if somebody has to be like the funny one, or like they need the attention all the time, which that kind of ties in with reassurance, but I guess like the funny one, they need the spotlight.
The mascot.
Yeah, they need, yeah. You know, like they need the teachers. Like if you're in school, they need the teachers' approval.
Oh yeah, so. There's actually some terms for like kids growing up. The mascot is one of them, and that's typically the kid that will be really funny or like, like you said, try to be in the spotlight, and that's their way of getting attention. So if there's like maybe a kid that's very high needs and mom and dad are focused on them, he might be like the goofball over here to like, obviously some reinforcement. So something like that.
Would you say like, for instance, let's say you have a kid, or let's say a young adult, and he came up in a family, he might have 3 brothers, 2 sisters. So when he's at home, he might not be getting like the same amount of attention as like a kid who's the only child or a couple siblings, so when they get to school, that's when they, I got to be funny, like, because that's the only place they're going to get the attention like they crave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the case for a lot of kids.
You think I have a chance in therapy?
Like to be a therapist?
Yeah, if I needed to, seriously.
Absolutely. You talk to
She
people
lying.
No, you're very chill, and I think you're very smart. I think you would be great at it.
Yeah, well, I love talk. Well, it's weird, which I'm sure it's the same thing that happens to you all the time. I'll run into like random strangers.
And they
I'll be at the bar. I hear all their problems, how much money they got, how much money they don't have. It is just like, they'll tell me all this before I even know their name.
That's been happening to me my whole life.
Same.
I might as well make money from it.
I wonder if that is. I've read like, are you into horoscopes a lot?
Oh, of course.
Okay, cool. Because I'm not. I'm not. Oh, okay. Shout out. What does that mean, by the way? Since Pisces. Okay. See, I'm not too big into horoscopes, but like every now and then I will go like check it out.
Yeah.
Just to see if it does reflect what I'm actually going through. And Gemini, I'm a Gemini, by the way. Apparently we have 2 different personalities, or like 3 or 4 different personalities, but like people will kind of open up to you in some ways. Well, I don't even want to put it all on just the Gemini. This is just in people in general. Like when you have good energy.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Ashley has good energy. My cat is gonna walk in this room any second. Like apparently cats feel like energy. That's what I read.
Sure.
That's what I read.
My friend, rest in peace, Huffles, had this cat, and that was
R.I.P.
That was our girl.
What was the name? What was the name?
Hufflepuff.
Oh, okay.
Huffles.
Dang.
If we ever had anybody new in the group, we had to go to Jenny's to see if Huffles would go to them.
Did you ever meet this cat? It wasn't your cat, right?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. No, different cat.
Melvin liked you, so I knew you were cool.
Yeah,
but
Melvin.
Huffles,
that was
if
Melvin.
she didn't go near that new person, we knew they were not good, and she was accurate 100% of the time.
Really? Yeah.
Time.
And that's like, I feel like cats, they do feel like the energy, like if a cat comes up to you, or animals in general, they like you. If little kids like you.
Yeah.
If people tell you their life stories, like you have a different energy about yourself.
For sure.
And like not everybody has that. And you can tell the people that do that, like almost instantly.
It's just easy,
yeah. It's just like instantly, like, okay, that person was pretty cool, But then you could also meet somebody else first 3 minutes talk to them. Okay, this dude's a jackass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or this woman's a jackass. I ain't gonna mess with them.
Yeah.
All right, I got another question for you right here. Let's see. Okay, if someone walked into your office and they've never heard about EMDR, what would what would happen in that first session, and what part usually surprises people the most?
So first, I would kind of go over what I did in the beginning of like what EMDR is in a nutshell, and
exactly
the research behind
quick
it,
breakdown,
the process, all that good stuff, and then we would kind of go into that. But the thing that always gets people is when we actually start the processing. So
okay.
Whether that's the eye movement or the knee taps or the tappers. This happened like maybe a month ago. I had a client that came in, and it was our first session.
No.
We had already been working together. We did all the things, but this was our first processing. So she starts holding the tappers and she's sitting there and we're talking about all the things that she's going through. And she just like sits up and she's like, I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm fixing to cry. And I was like, well, this is part of the process and all the things. And by the end of it, she was like, I feel like this is witchcraft. I feel like, she was like, I don't know. She was like, I don't know what you put into these tappers or what's going on right now, but like, I have never been able to talk about this. I've never been able to get through this. Yeah, like within an hour session.
Dang, that's so crazy. Because my next question, I kid you not, was like, have you ever seen it work so fast that it might have like freaked you out?
It has, for sure.
Really?
Yes, and it's just easier for some people.
That's
there's
insane.
no wrong way to do it because you're just sitting there doing the bilateral stimulation. But for some people, it talks, and this is getting more like into it, but like your neural pathways and stuff, depression and different trauma can kind of shut those off.
Yeah.
So those people, it takes a little bit longer in the process.
Okay.
But for some people, if those neural pathways are open and firing, it works so quickly.
Instantly.
Nearly, yeah. I mean, we can get a lot done in 1 hour.
Yeah, so it actually did like freak you out. It probably freaked her out or him, whoever it was.
Yes, it was crazy.
I can only imagine.
And it's not witchcraft; it's scientific. But
yeah.
She was just like, I've just never felt like this before.
Yeah, she, like you said, it was probably something that she had been dealing with that she held on to for entirely too long. Because I guess like I said, I'm not an expert in therapy or anything, but obviously people holding on to stuff too long is probably the root cause more times than none. They've just never had the right people to talk to.
Yeah, it's
I guess
crazy.
you could say.
I mean, the point of it is to give you relief, and people that have been struggling with something that gives them major anxiety, sometimes by the end of the hour, like, I don't even care about it anymore.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Cool. I might have to go see somebody eventually. Just to, like, I would just like, since we're talking about it now, I would like to see what all the gist of it is, because it couldn't hurt.
It's so cool. I have drank the EMDR Kool-Aid. I love it. I recommend it to everybody. I think it's the best.
Oh, I'm definitely going to have to go check it out. Okay, another question for you right here. Again, shout out to Ashley O'Neal. Shout out to her husband. Shout out her friend Anna.
Hey, Anna.
Yeah, hey, Anna. We said we are going to shout both y'all out before we started, so there you go. But question. What is something socially accepted that you actually think is emotionally unhealthy?
This could be a lot of things.
For sure.
Drinking alcohol for one.
Yes.
Now, I like to have a drink every now and then.
Same. I was drinking last night.
Like, that's
just
no
on Fridays.
Deal.
Just Fridays.
But I think in our culture, we have like, you cannot do anything without getting a drink or do anything without being drunk. And
yeah.
I'm like, what are we suppressing right now?
Yeah, I mean, because like,
what are we trying not to feel all the time?
The older I get, like, the more I, like, when I drink the next day, like, for instance, I drank last night. This morning, I woke up, like, just anxiety like crazy. I can't even think right. You know, I had to shake back before we even recorded this interview. But we did. We're good. But, yeah, alcohol is, like you said, some people, they can't do anything without alcohol. And I love alcohol. But it's like, there comes a point where you can't just keep drinking, like, and putting your problems, like, to the very back of your mind.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, it's not going to end up good.
It's just and I just see so many bad things come out of people drinking too much. I mean, once you get to a certain point, it's just not fun for anybody anymore. Doom scrolling is probably another one, which I'm guilty of.
I do it every day.
I totally fall into doom scrolling sometimes, but it is really, really bad for us.
It is. I mean, I feel like you'll catch yourself for hours.
For sure.
You'll lose sleep over it and not even know. You'll just be sitting there on your bed.
Yeah, do you have your timer set up where it's like, hey, you might need to get off for today?
I need to set that up. Yeah, I need to set that up. I didn't even know that was an option. That is crazy, though. Yeah, TikTok, it really, especially in children. You know, me and you, we're grown for the most part, so at least we're aware enough to, like, okay, we need to stop scrolling through all these social media apps and whatever. But a little kid, they don't know any better.
They don't have that awareness.
No, they just sit on a tablet. They'll do it for the whole day. You know, they don't care.
So sad. Like,
it does
fine
too.
For them to have it, but like to the crazy amount that it is for a lot of kids.
Do you have any friends with children?
I do.
Okay. Would you say that? And this is not on the prompt, by the way. I'm just kind of curious. Would you say, like, after they had their kids, how can I explain this? What's the term? It's post something.
Postpartum depression?
Yeah, okay. So is that linked to trauma in any shape, form, or fashion, in your opinion? Because I know a lot of women, they do deal with this, like, after they have a kid.
For sure.
And it's out of their control.
Yeah, it's definitely more linked to hormones.
Okay, more so than trauma.
Yeah, but it can be from trauma if they had like a really traumatic birth experience, which unfortunately is more common than people think. But typically it's more hormonal than trauma related.
Okay, okay. That was a great answer as well, for sure. All right, we got one more question.
Okay.
One more question. Kind of on the, this is kind of a little bit on the deeper side, I guess you could say. Not for the most part. You'll be able to handle this with grace, for sure. Okay. What would you say is more dangerous? Long term, feeling your emotions too much, or convincing yourself that you don't have any emotions at all?
Convincing yourself you don't have any emotions at all.
Easily? So you would say that is more like dangerous and like damaging to your life and mental state
100%.
than like long-term feeling your emotions too much. So you really need to be in tune with your,
oh yeah,
you'd rather be in tune with your emotions than I'm too nonchalant. Like,
yeah, I mean that's suppressing, and the way that I explain suppression to people is like holding a pool toy like under the water.
Yeah.
You know, when you let go of it, it's just going to shoot right back up.
For sure. Oh, okay.
It's going to come
Great
up in
analogy.
one way or another, whether it's in your behaviors or even physically. Like a lot of autoimmune diseases are linked to trauma and stress and anxiety that you don't deal with. So you're going to deal with it one way or another.
Yeah, you might as well get in tune sooner than later.
Yeah, and if you're having too many feelings, eventually, if you do go to therapy or have good friends, get the tools to be able to deal with it. It's like you're being thrown into like this deep end pool of feelings, and the feelings don't go away. Like the pool doesn't get more shallow. You just learn how to swim in it better. So if you just get the tools to be able to deal with it, then eventually feeling too much is not going to be.
It's not a bad thing.
No.
For sure. And I guess to close this out, if you had to tell the people, like, let's say they are dealing with certain types of trauma and they might be interested in searching out for a certain therapist, what steps should they take to get the help they need? And if you want to shout out any like of your fellow like therapist friends or buddies, now's the time to do it if you want to. And you could also like shout yourself out where you work, just whatever you want to do.
So if you're thinking about therapy, I would start with looking at the therapist in your area. So Psychology Today is a great place to start because you're able to put in your zip code, and then every therapist, clinician that's on there, they have a bio and their pictures and where they work. So you kind of get to figure out like who do you resonate with?
Yeah.
Like if you prefer a male or a female, or if you want somebody that's, specializes in women's health.
Okay, so you could actually decide like if you want a male or female therapist.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather have a male therapist, just like because
a lot of guys do.
For sure. I mean, if you make me go talk to a woman in a room, like I'm not gonna handle any of my problems. I'm not gonna be like, oh, she looks good or something. That's just I'm just being real. This is real. This is the realest podcast you're gonna watch. I'm just keeping it real. But like that's why I'd be like, go ahead and give me a male therapist.
Yeah.
I can just relate to him a little better.
For sure. And I think a lot of women feel that way. I think a lot of women would prefer another woman just because of the same reasons. Like they feel like they can relate to their experience more.
Being more comfortable.
Yeah, you have to go where you're comfortable. And another thing is, like, if you go and you don't click with your therapist, it's okay. Go and try another one. Don't feel obligated to stay with a therapist that you don't feel comfortable with or you can't be honest with. Like, because then it's not going to work and you're just wasting your money and you're wasting your time. So, like, try a few different people if you need to.
For sure. I have a couple of buddies. They went to therapy, and one time he went and saw this woman, and they wrote him and said, like, we're going to put you with somebody else, just because like it was, instead of like actually working on what had to be done, it was just having casual good conversation. I'm assuming the woman was super cool, my buddy's super cool, so they just chopping it up. They didn't really get to the root cause of it. You know what I mean? I'm sure that happened. Does that ever happen to you?
Oh, absolutely. Like I've had a few women that I'm like, dang, I wish I would have met them like organically because we would be friends.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest for me because I'm like, it's just, I feel too friendly with them.
Yeah. That's why I don't think personally I could be one.
Because you'd be friends with everybody?
Yeah, and I'm like you said earlier, like if you have to be like, hey, you're a little bit insecure. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say that.
Yeah.
Personally, like I could. I just feel like it'd come off kind of wrong.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I just hate. I don't like being mean to anybody.
No, when you said that, I was like, I don't even think about it. Honestly, I guess because I've been doing it now.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think about being like that. Sounds like insecurity to me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you said 10 years in the game, so you, hey,
yeah.
respect. But look, here with Ashley O'Neal, trauma therapist. Say it one more time.
No, you got it.
EMDR.
Yes.
She specializes in EMDR. Explain that one more time, or just the acronym?
Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing.
For sure. If you are in the surrounding area, Florence, and you need a valid licensed therapist, here she is.
Thoughtful journey counseling.
Yeah. Get with her. Ashley, thank you so much.
Thank
We're going to wrap it
Jonah.
up. This is the second episode of the Keep It On Ice podcast. We're going to try to get consistent with it. Comment, subscribe, like, share, blase, and comment what you think we should talk about next, or if you have any other guest appearance ideas, just let me know. But we're going to cut it right there, and y'all have a good day.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here? She bounce it like 6'4", no Nintendo, ayy. I just spent 2 beans on a benzo, ayy. Rockin' on Mozilla, this not Kenzo, ayy. Had to stretch my money like a limo, yeah.